Hi, you're watching Build. We are live here in London. Please give it up for Healy and Sam Palladio.
Good morning.
How are you both? You all right?
Good, thanks. You? How are you? How's everyone today? Good.
Cool.
Yay.
Now, before we get started, just a quick reminder that you can get your questions in on social media. We're on Facebook and we're also on Twitter. We are at Build Series LDN. Hi, both of you. Nice to see you. How are you?
I'm a little jet lagged, but apart from that, all good, all good. You know, coming in from the States and coming to do some...
I'm a little jet lag from coming from Northampton.
Yeah, it's a long way, it is, you know.
So your single is out at the moment. It's called Stay My Love.
Yeah.
For those who maybe haven't heard it, can you tell us a little bit about it?
So yeah, Stay My Love it's a lovely love song ballad. It's one that's part of my upcoming album, The Waiting Game. It was my first single, but I can't say debut solo single because I actually have Sam on it with me. It's a duet. It's a song I co-wrote with Amy Wadge. We wrote the song actually in my living room in Northampton, and we listened back to it. We loved the song. We knew it was a really special song. But the more we listened back to it as a demo with just me on it, we realised it was missing something. And that was a duet partner, a male voice. You know, the whole story comes to life when it's actually, you know, I sing the verse and then he comes back, and it's that kind of, it's a love song where these two people are obviously really in love with each other, but they don't want to tell each other, and they kind of treat each other a little bit bad, actually. So it's a bit sad.
So how did you two meet then? Because obviously you said you wrote the song together. So how did you guys sort of get together in the first place?
Well, actually, Una wrote it with Amy. I wasn't involved in the writing process in this one, but her label Decca reached out to me last summer and, you know, sent me this great song and said, would I be interested in coming to the UK and you know, working with Una and being a part of the record. And I thought it was a beautiful song. I really did. I thought it just had a great melody, great sentiment, was in my wheelhouse of music. And so I said I'd love to. And we came over last summer, and I was in between filming Nashville and managed to squeeze in a good little recording session. And you know, and then it excitingly became
when I heard that you might
single.
Possibly do it, because there was a few names on the list, and I was like, can we please have him? I don't want any of them, I want him, you know? So but we met him at the, yeah, I love that one. Walked into Universal and met him for the first time, and I didn't know if you'd said yes to doing the song, and he was like, yeah, I'd love to. And I was like, yeah, so he was over the next week, went into the studio, recorded the
You also thought it was American, right? Just a bit
I did. I actually got a bit of a shock, and I was actually shocked at how tall he is as well, because, you know, normally actors are really small, but you were like really tall with a full-on British accent, and I was expecting, what's your southern accent?
Like, hey, Una, how you doing?
Hey, I'm Sam, you know, but no, and yeah, it was a bit of a shock, that, to be honest, but you know, a pleasant shock.
Because we are used to seeing you in Nashville, and obviously you do play an American character in that. So how does that kind of compare? Do people always shocked when you sort of come across over here and you speak with a British accent?
Yeah, I think it's a great compliment, actually. I always think it's a great acting compliment. The funniest anecdote on that is I've just done the second series of Humans on Channel 4 and on AMC in the States, and when it was airing here, my favourite tweet I got was, oh my God, Sam Palladio's British accent is terrible.
I was born with it, mate.
I was like, what does that even mean? And it's a kind of backhanded compliment. So, yeah, so it's confusing
to
for them.
perfect the American one? Were you just like got it straight?
I mean, it did. Yeah, I trained at Rose Bruford College here in just outside London, and you know, a lot of our acting training was on accents. You know, we do a few classes each week, and I always felt quite good at accents, and ended up doing a Tennessee Williams play in a Southern accent as my final project, and so I was. You know, I got my old notes out when the audition came through, just to try and get it back.
Was it weird for you? Because obviously we see your character singing a lot on the show. Was it weird recording a pop song in that kind of way, as opposed to on the telly?
I mean, I think, like I said, the song has elements of country and folk, and you know, just it's a very lyrical song. So it felt like it lived in. You know, in the genre of music that I'm interested in singing. So it felt like quite an easy transition from what you might have heard on the TV show to it's a similar sound. It's I do a lot of duets on the show, and I've always loved harmony singing, and I think any chance to do that I jump at, and this really lent itself very well to that.
And it's obviously a big transition for you as well, because we're not calling it your solo single, because obviously Sam's on it, but you're used to singing with 4 other girls. So what was it like being sort of working with a guy this time round?
It was nice not to be like thrown in the deep end of just completely bare on my own. So it's nice, but at the same time, the music and in this style of original music, my whole album is all original songs, and I'm sort of going back to my roots of the music that I was starting out along the path of a singer-songwriter. And then I had my few years in the Sashes, which I absolutely loved, but I'm so happy to be back doing this music again. So it's so different. You can't compare it. Like my time with the girls and being in a pop group was just the most amazing time, but it's like almost like getting a second chance to do what I originally set out to do. And
we get to see
your
guitar this time round as well, which is nice.
Yeah, no, I'm back with my old guitar again, my old friend. I missed him for Taylor at the moment, and Taylor comes around with me an awful lot. So we're actually doing the one show this afternoon together, all completely live. Like we've got a live band and everything completely live. Yeah.
Dueling guitars.
Yeah.
So the album, it's called The Waiting Game. It's out on Friday. You've said, obviously, it's all original songs. What else can you kind of tease us? Is it going to be quite similar to the single? Is that sound sort of indicative?
A couple of tracks, the ballads are similar in that vein, that sort of folky country pop. That's kind of the best way to describe it. There's quite a lot of genres there, but that is the best way to just describe it. But there's there's a lot of up-tempos, and I'm thinking that my next single is actually an up-tempo track. So it's like it's not all just like nicey slow. There's a few thumpers in there.
And was that kind of a deliberate move for you to kind of move away from the whole sort of like pure pop genre that people might have been used to hearing from you? Yeah. Was that kind of something that happened organically, or was that quite a conscious choice?
Well, like I said, it's more like going back to the music I was doing before the band, but it's a progression from that, because I've just had so much experience in the industry and learning my craft of songwriting, and everything it's much stronger now. I feel I'm in a better place to deliver an album like this than I would have been back in the day.
And obviously, Sam, you mentioned Humans. You were in that last year.
Yes.
You've previously teased that we could see you again in Series 3. Is that something that we can expect?
Well, I was thrilled to be a part of the show. I was a massive fan of the first season of Humans, and it's a really nice departure from the country music scene that you see me in, most days. I would love to return. I really would. I think they're just about to maybe announce a season 3. Fantastic team, fantastic writers. I'd be back in a heartbeat if I can. So I can't give you any solid yes or no, but know that I would love to be. Yeah.
And how does it compare working in the States to working over here? Is there a kind of one you prefer?
Well, man, I mean, this is a tricky one.
You are now. So.
Yeah. England, yeah. I mean, there's so much great work being made over here, and that's why. Well, actually, why I was so interested in coming back and working with Una and making some music over here, because I've spent the last 5 years living in Nashville, which is amazing city, incredible people, but I do miss my roots, and I mean. Being in that songwriting music community in where I live right now is priceless, really, for what I wanted to do as an actor and a musician. I was trying to pursue both and landed on this brilliant job. But I think it's important to to have camps in both places.
I don't know, you're obviously no stranger to TV either. You were a judge on the Irish version of The Voice. Right. How was that experience for you, being sort of on the other side of the music?
I really loved it, and we were coaches because we're not.
Oh yeah, of course, it's coaches on The Voice.
That word
it?
judge was like, Yeah, so we. It was just really nice to mentor these great singers, because everybody that appears on The Voice, they can all sing really well, and. And I can totally empathise. I've auditioned in the past for things and didn't get through, and I know that horrible feeling. You walk away in such pain, but you just have to pick yourself up and work hard at it. And I was just there to coach them along and pass over any experience that I had, and I've kept good friendships with the people from the show. So it was a great experience for me. But equally now I feel like I want to be back again at the other side of the stage. But I enjoyed it because I got to take me away from being on the stage and you know, sit back for.
Are you watching the UK version at the moment? Because obviously that's.
I've seen a bits of it, yeah.
And is there any standouts for you? You'd be like, I want them on my team if I was.
I was like, why didn't they turn? You know, like I'm sure people were saying the same, like when we were there. But there was a few that missed opportunities. I felt, yeah.
And obviously, I couldn't have you here without asking about the Saturdays. Is there going to be a reunion? Can you give us any gossip about it?
I'm going to be in the band.
Yeah, we're going to do a reunion, and he's just going to put a wig on. You know, it's just going to be the two of us.
I mean, that's going to be great.
We haven't made any plans at the moment, but we all feel that one day we'd love to, but we just don't know when that will be. You know.
Damn.
Yeah.
Get it together soon. Don't leave it too long.
Yeah.
We've also got a few audience questions that these guys have been sending in. Who is up first?
Hi, Sam. You were great in Humans.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So, question for you. If you had your own personal robot, what's the first thing you'd have them do?
Ooh, good question.
Ooh, probably just very boring domestic things like doing the ironing and things and just sweeping up. I've just got a new puppy, so he's causing a bit of a mess. So I might have a synth dog walker or something. I don't know. Yeah, just keep me in check at home. Yeah.
Who else?
Hello. This question's for you, Una. When you left the Saturdays and went solo, did you seek advice or draw inspiration from anyone else who did the same?
Well, I've only just really started now. This is kind of like, this literally is the first big day for me, really, since like we've been in the studio for the past 3 years writing the album, and then I was doing the voice and just spending quality time at home and writing the songs and everything. But like, a huge inspiration to me is my uncle, Declan Ernie, who's a country and Irish singer, and he's been there my whole life and been mentoring me really the whole way. So, and he's still going strong, gigging like 4 or 5 nights a week, and he's been doing it for ages. So he's kind of the person that I go to for my advice, yeah.
Sadly, that's all we've got time for. But thank you so much for joining us on Build. I know it's sad, isn't it?
Thank you, guys.
Please give it up for Una Healy and Sam Palladio.
Thank you.